Welcome to the Medical Ancillary Sales Podcast, your number one source for making money in the medical ancillary sector. Mike and Viv bring you the latest information from lab services, pharmacy, diagnostic testing, and so much more. The latest in ancillary services will be right around the corner. Welcoming the hosts of the Medical Ancillary Sales Podcast, here's Mike and Viv.
Hello and welcome to the Medical Ancillary Sales Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Berg, and joined as always by Viv Hudson. How you doing, Viv?
I'm great, thanks, Mike. And I'm going to let you introduce our special guest today.
All right. Yes, today we have Steve Grand from Medicine. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
So Steve has an interesting program, but this is a very straightforward program, and this is not something that I think most people who listen to this podcast, most reps, are familiar with, and that is medical waste. And so, Steve, can you kind of break down your program for us?
Absolutely. We've been in business since 1999. We cover the entire United States. Every healthcare facility, medical, dental, veterinarian, generates medical waste that's regulated, and it needs to be taken care of with a very, very fine-tooth comb. What we do is we offer national and independent accounts. Any type of a medical waste, you would get 30% off. So in a nutshell, if you have a medical facility and they're generating waste and they're paying somebody a fee, a monthly fee, a quarterly fee, a weekly fee, whatever that fee would be, we would just take 30% off.
And when you say waste, you're talking about those boxes that you see outside the doors at medical offices, right? With their sharps and everything else? Correct.
Red sharp containers, pathology, pharmaceuticals, anything that is considered to be by the state within medical waste, we remove out of their facilities.
So I imagine, Steve, that there's some practices that produce a lot more waste than others. So which ones would they be?
Majority of the larger facilities are hospitals, but most generated waste and most profitable for in our arena is acute centers such as surgical centers, multiple locations offices. It could be a plastic surgery office. It could be a dermatology office. Anybody that has a flow of traffic on a daily basis, they generate waste either through vaccinations and sharps or doing some sort of laboratory testings.
So you mentioned hospitals. So would that be a target market for us to go for?
Actually, hospitals are all beat up, and the margin there's really nothing there. The hospitals are, everybody goes out and does bids on hospitals, but smaller facilities such as surgical centers, pediatric offices, plastic surgeons, dermatologists, that's our sweet spot.
Now, Steve, I see Stericycle everywhere. When I think medical waste, I'm automatically thinking Stericycle. What percentage of the market does Stericycle have?
Stericycle has about 75% of all the medical waste services in the United States.
And what's the level of what would you say the level of satisfaction with their customers is?
Stericycle is they increase prices, and a lot of customers are really not happy with their service. They just think that they're the only game in town, and that's why it's us medicine comes to the rescue, and we could blindly save them 30, sometimes 50% off their bill. All we need is their bill. We need 2 months of Stericycle's bills, and we will save them 30 to 50%.
So what's your approach when you go into a physician's office? How do you actually sell this program? What's your 30 seconds?
We pretty much say whatever your bill is, take 30% off, and that's what we will charge you without increasing your fees, period. Where Stericycle increases their fees annually, quarterly and annually.
And I know, Steve, we had spoken before that one of the issues that you come up against is that they're locked into these contracts sometimes. So what is your response when they say, well, this sounds great, but we're locked into a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal?
It's up to the client. We'll give them 30% off, sometimes as high as 50, 60% off, depending on the situation. And if they're locked in a contract, they may elect to wait till the contract runs out, or they make a decision to do whatever they need to go do with our thing. We completely stay out of that situation. We don't really consult with them to what they need to do.
Okay, but typically, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, is Stericycle or these companies, do they hold them to these contracts? Are they locked in? Are there workarounds?
As this information being recorded, I can only tell you from the legal aspect, it is a viable contract.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned every physician uses these, though. There's not any specialty that's not a target for us to go after, right?
Correct. Any healthcare facility that has a medical license will need our services. And majority of the clients are currently under Stericycle service umbrella.
So Steve, I have no idea what the costs are to a medical practice. So how much are we talking about that physicians can save using your service? So we already know that it's at least 30%, but what does that look like in actual dollars?
An average practice with Stericycle will pay for a monthly fee about $500. We'll come in and we'll save them 30 to 50% depending on what their service agreement is.
Okay, so if I'm talking to a physician, he says, "This sounds great, Mike. What are the next steps? How do we get started? What do you need from the practice?" You said you needed a couple months of invoices from their current provider. Is there anything else that you need?
We need a couple months of their invoices so we could lock in a price, and then we would send them out a 36-month service agreement, which is our contract that they would be locked in at, and we guaranteed that we never increase our fees.
Well, that's a pretty good hook right there, and you're saying with the current arrangement that even if they're locked into a contract, their pricing is not fixed, that their pricing could still go up month over month.
Correct.
That's interesting. Okay, well, Steve, if anyone has any further questions or anything, how can people reach you?
They could call me direct, and we also do webinars, and we also have a portal for salespeople, our presentations, and we have different marketing collaterals that could be utilized. But everybody could just call me direct, and I take every individual very seriously, and your team could make a lot of money doing this because we are the other medical waste company that makes a difference. My direct number is 714 area code 337-7958. That's 714-337-7958. And
guys,
also you can visit us online at www.medsend.com. That's MEDASEND.com.
All All right, guys. Well, thank you for getting on. I think this is a great add-on. And I was just mentioning to you before we started the recording, I did a presentation last week for a group that has 20 locations, and we're talking about some other programs. But I just sent them a follow-up, and I said, hey, and by the way, I know you're looking to generate some revenue, but I could also help you save some money, 30 to 50% off of your medical waste. So we'll see where that goes. But I think this is a very easy add-on sale. So, Steve, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And
Thanks, Steve.
I look forward to answering any questions anybody has.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.